Okay, well, we're here with Paul Manuel, owner of the Kelseyville Wine Company and Olive Mill here in Kelseyville, California, in Lake County. And Paul has agreed to graciously show us around his operation here. And I'd like Paul, just tell us a little bit about what you do here.
Thanks, Brian. Kelseyville Wine Company and Olive Mill, established in the beginning of 2009. We produce wines from the Lake County area as well as my vineyard in Nevada City. And we also mill olives from our own estate orchard, approximately 3,000 trees, and then we do a lot of custom milling for various olive tree owners.
Great. And so from a wine grape perspective, so you grow some of your own grapes, you work with local growers to source some of their grapes, and then kind of what are some of the outputs, or what do you do with what you get with the grapes that you take?
Traditionally, I've sold my grapes. I began farming grapes in 1990, and I traditionally for a dozen years sold my grapes to various buyers such as Bonterra, the Fetzer organic line over in Hopland. Decided to focus on making my own wines and sell through the bulk market. Has been my major sales of the wines that I've produced. And this year, working with a consulting winemaker, I plan to build up a small label.
That's your own label?
Yes.
Great. Excellent. Well, good. And we'll go take a look around the facility a little bit. How does that sound?
Okay.
Excellent. Okay, so we're here in Paul's tank room, and one of the things about Lake County that's very compelling is their ability to provide high quality stuff at a competitive price, these sorts of things. And not necessarily just the traditional thinking of providing wine grapes to winemakers, but there's a whole lot more going on here. Is that right, Paul?
That's very correct. I've developed this business around a service-oriented aspect of the winemaking business. I'm not a huge facility. I'm not a small facility. I'm in the middle. And I try to focus on that intermediate group of people besides myself and my grapes that come down here to take care of the various services needed. Storage of wines, process of wines, crushing of wines, the whole gamut, as bottling, everything in that intermediate line.
So looking to capture that mid-sized market, and you mentioned also that you're developing your own label currently of your own wines, but that you also work with some other winemakers for their products as well.
That's correct. We're a custom crush facility. We have two APs, Shedhorn Cellars and McDermott Family Vineyards, and Robinson Lake, a family wine, a family group out of Texas is in here as well to a small degree.
Great. And so you're, with those folks in particular, you're providing bulk wine, is that correct? Or the winemakers are making their own wine here, is that right?
Their own wines. They're bringing their grapes in and processing them completely, and I'm simply providing services to them and storage.
Great. But then you're also interested in pursuing the bulk market and potentially the Shiner market for certain wine facilities, correct?
Yes.
Excellent. Why don't we take a stroll over to the barrel room and have a little look at that.
Okay.
So you mentioned you have 13 stainless steel tanks here,
yeah,
is that right?
We have about a 55,000 gallon capacity and growing. We've got some plans to add some additional tanks. We were full with zero advertising. We were completely full this season, this compressed season that we had here in 2010, and gravitate a little bit more than the 55,000 gallons. But this is the tank room, about 13 tanks.
Okay, great. Now we'll wander over here to the barrel room where you got a lot of facility here, storage space. So go ahead, Paul.
In the middle of inventory, so we've got stuff pulled out, and we're doing a complete inventory audit right now. But these are my barrels, empty barrels, and my custom crush clients. McDermott Family Vineyards, Cheryl Lejeune, Robinson Lake Vineyards, and Shedhorn Cellars are the main ones. There are a few small ones, but those are my main group.
Great. And so you also mentioned that you're in the process of finishing up putting in your lab facility. So the whole idea is to essentially be a full service supplier,
yes,
correct?
I'd like to grow into that, yes. Currently, I do not have a full-time winemaker on my staff. I consult with a winemaker, and I'd like to grow into that.
Great. So you're certainly equipped to kind of work with any number of different situations, ranging from a winemaker to a custom crush to somebody who's looking for a finished product.
Exactly.
Excellent. Great.